successful with only 6 members?
We can provide all necessary resources not provided through funding, although I agree that fewer locations should be open for the availability schedule. I must remind you all that this project, and projects similar to it, are not the purpose of this research.
A long time ago, a young magician called Samuel lived in a small village in the forest. Surrounding the forest were steep mountains few dared to climb, and so very few left or entered. One day, a traveler passing at the tops of the mountains had dropped some of their equipment into the forest by accident and never bothered to retrieve it. Samuel discovered the fallen bags and found within them a book of spells, which allowed him to use new magic that nobody in the village had ever seen. Some time later, a healer from the kingdom of the previous traveler was traveling through the area when he fell into the forest. The healer used the kingdom's magic to call out for help, but the only one in tune with it was Samuel, who came to the rescue of the healer. Samuel was eager to help and he did what he could, stabilizing the healer. The healer used special magic to communicate with Samuel and told him about the research he was doing. If you provide me with the means to climb from the forest, I will return to establish a trade route with your village so that you may take part in our goods and so that you may share your own research with the rest of the world, said the healer, and Samuel agreed, gathering the requested materials. Later, the healer returned with others from his kingdom to meet with Samuel. The group discussed and agreed that the people of the village were not quite ready for the outer world, but that they could still provide research and culture and receive assistance. However, only those who are involved with the transfers would be made aware. This is a story about two girls, Laura and Ophelia. They were neighbors, and their parents let them play together all the time. Ophelia didn't have any brothers or sisters, but in time, Laura became like an older sister to Ophelia, even watching over her when her parents needed to be somewhere. Unfortunately, they started to drift apart when Laura was in her teenage years. See, by age 15, Laura wanted to rebel against her parents, developing conflicting beliefs to theirs. She despised them and wanted to avoid becoming them. Laura became a person that most would not want to be around, and Ophelia no longer felt comfortable around her. Laura went and found friends in a bad crowd of people. And so time tore these friends apart, but maybe one day they'll meet again. There was once a group of people who were very evil. They felt much hatred toward others and wanted everything to go their way. They were beaten at least twice, and on that second time, they began to fortify. They liked to believe that the new things in life were the true evils, despite not having a good reason to. They heard of something new and popular and which made them afraid, and in response they began concocting a plan to ruin the reputation of the fad. Since those who are evil are always foolish, this took them some time and some tries, but eventually their plan went into place. They sent in their agent, who planted a device to set things in motion. The agent ran and was hit by the group. But karma always comes back to bite us, we know that now. But the crew of the reclaimed ship sailed on anyways. If they could make it to port, they would run home. But when they found her, there was no port. She took a hold of the wheel, she took a hold of the arms, of the legs, of the eyes, of the... She had so much hatred, she had too much hatred, like bursts of light burning a hole through skin. She reached out toward anyone she could find, clawing and crushing and tearing and flaying anything her hand could catch before the crew could pull her back inside. A spinning well of minds poured into a mangled man. A house full of infestations which I am forced to live in. She was wronged by this world, and now she wants nothing more than to wrench the light from your eyes. An endless torment undeserved, time slowing as positions decimate, pain inflaming with unhealing wounds. This house they last visited, and this house kept them safe when they left. Pooling, churning, burning, dying, aging, learning their battle meant nothing at all. The world bled into their skin as she ran through them like needles pulling stitches through open wounds. Stuck in death, stuck in death, stuck in creation, preserved in amber like a billion decaying maggots rummaging through my skin as I pull endless toward the shaking lights. The fireplaces burn down to ashes again and again, their canisters decaying each cycle. Do you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't feel my legs, I can't feel my eyes, I can't see my eyes, I don't remember my eyes, I can't remember your name. I'm looking for my mother, can you help me find her? I need to feed my cat when I get back to the van to drive away. I can't hear